Hello and welcome to Plugged In, a podcast by Okefenokee REMC about our co-op, our community, and our shared connections. I'm Michelle Hutchins, your Communications and Marketing Coordinator, and joining me today is Miss Linda Henderson with the Southeast Cancer Unit. You're actually the team leader with branching out in Brantley County. It's made up of, there's county reps from each of Brantley, Ware, and Pierce County, I believe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about the Southeast Cancer Unit today. It's an all-volunteer organization that assists cancer patients in those three counties, Brantley, Ware, and Pierce, who are undergoing treatment with medical and care-related expenses. It's an organization that's very near and dear to the hearts of us at Okefenokee REMC because our golf tournament, which is celebrating its 32nd anniversary this year, has been raising funds to support your organization ever since its inception. So I know in the last few years we've sort of ramped up the overall experience of the event, and I think in just the last 4 years we've given you about $60,000.
Right.
So pretty exciting.
Yes.
And
very.
we're but just thought as we look toward the next one, and now might be a good time to just shed a little light on the organization itself a little bit more. So kind of introduce us to the Southeast Cancer Unit and how it got started and where the idea came from. And
Okay. 3 ladies that were volunteers with other organizations, cancer organizations, realized the money was going elsewhere and not directly to the patients. And so they decided to start the Southeast Cancer Unit. Brenda Waters,
okay,
Barbara Jones from Ware County, and Ann Fulford from Ware County. And some of them had cancer or either had family members that had cancer, and realized the local people needed assistance with gas and medicines, medical supplies. So they formed this in 1997.
Oh.
We're 26 years old,
Okay.
old. I became aware of the program in 2003, and I had family members that were being assisted by the Southeast Cancer. And I thought, man, this is a really good program. And so I joined in with some nieces. And so in 2005, I decided to start our team in Brantley County.
Oh, okay.
So we, searched, this is what we're going to name, our team. So we said, we're going to be branching out. So this is how we came up with the name, Branching Out in Brantley.
And so that is the Brantley County arm of the Southeast Cancer. Okay,
mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
We're the only team in Brantley County that, it raises money. But we have several people that donate, and just like the Okefenokee Co-op. And y'all have been such a blessing. It's such a blessing. But, with COVID come along, it just put a halt to everything. We had, for many years, 30 to 35 teams, several members on each team. And when COVID come along, that, really hurt us. And we now have about 12 to 15 teams.
So
in the 3 counties.
In the 3
mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
again, the patient base that you're serving is patients living in Brantley County, Ware County, and Pierce County.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about how you reach out, or how patients kind of reach out to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, our program is set up to offer $1,500 per year per patient.
Wow.
It's not according to income, anything. It's just the need. We offer for gas, medicines, medical supplies, wigs, transportation, and nutritional supplements, and counseling.
Okay.
They have, they're very good at helping people to work through their issues. And a lot of times people have, am I going to pay my rent, or am I going to have treatments? Am I going to get to the doctor?
Mm-hmm.
So this gas is the major thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't usually do medical bills because that can wipe out your $1,500 in,
An
very
instant.
upfront. Yes. So, but all they have to do is either contact myself at 912-288-4318, or the office is now located at First Baptist Church in Blackshear.
Okay.
That number is 912-452-7070. And Miss Brenda Waters and Miss Janice Brown are the two ladies that work in the office. We're only there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just part-time.
Sure.
Everybody being volunteers,
Yes.
But you can leave a message and they will get right back with you, on what your needs are. And the application is very simple: name, address, what kind of cancer you've been diagnosed with, as well as the doctor. And, the doctor's information. And
Sure.
all. And where you have to go to for treatments,
Yep.
it makes a difference on how much gas vouchers and all that you get.
Of
So,
course.
But yeah, it's just, a simple application, and just, I have them at the City Hall in Hoboken, or, call those other two numbers. And
So it's amazing to me, quite honestly, that all this time it has just been a volunteer organization running it. And you mentioned that it was much more active before COVID. COVID has created some I guess,
challenges for us, yes.
for sure. So if you're all volunteer, obviously events like ours are where your funding's coming from. But tell me where you get the money, because $1,500 is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
So where else beside events like ours are you getting money from, and how can people participate?
Well, like myself, for our team in Brantley, I send out letters for donations.
Okay.
And we have several people that donate that way. Some of the churches get involved, and they have a set budget for it. We do barbecues was a big thing. Barbecue dinners was a big thing for us before COVID.
Okay.
And then I had a lot of family, my sisters, my brother, and my children, grandchildren. We all worked together. And everybody's gotten older because we've been doing this for 18 years.
Okay.
And health-wise, we want to recruit some new, younger blood if we can.
Of course.
And but I've done beauty pageants. I've done really well doing beauty pageants. Vidalia onions is one of our big sellers. My husband was doing this before we got involved with Vidalia, the Vidalia onions.
Mm-hmm.
He was selling them just as, just
To sell.
to sell.
Locally.
Not for a fundraiser.
A benefit, sure.
But so he passed away 3.5 years ago, and my neighbor stepped in and is filling his shoes and helping me get them and helping me sell them. But that's a big money seller, money maker. I'm sorry.
So the onions are one of your biggest fundraisers, and you said you used to do barbecue plates. What other types of fundraisers are you able to do that help, fill the coffers, if you will?
Yeah, we do raffles for quilts, golf carts, lawnmowers, grills, and some of this we've had to purchase with our own money, and then sell enough tickets. You got to make sure you sell enough to pay that. And then sometimes we have donations from organizations or businesses that will donate that we can, sell tickets. I had my first bingo game this year, and we had 175 players.
Wow.
And it was a big hit. So people are ready for us to have another one.
Well, there you go.
We hope after the first of the year we can do that again.
Oh, good.
But our Vidalia onions usually come in April or May and go for 2 or 3 weeks, and we're thinking about maybe doing another, if we could get them in the fall, get some in the fall to sell, to kind of pick up in other places that we're not getting any funds coming in. Anybody that wants to donate, they can make it out to Southeast Cancer Unit, and just send it to myself at P.O. Box 91 or to the office in Blackshear.
Oh, gotcha.
And
what's the zip code there?
315 42 in Hoboken,
Oh,
and Blackshear's 31516.
I gotcha.
And so our office is actually located now at First Baptist Church in Blackshear.
Yeah, that's what you had said. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so you mentioned volunteers and the need to recruit kind of a new generation of volunteers. And again, it is all volunteer. There's no paid staff. There's no paid employees.
Right.
So you talk to me about the team structure a little bit. How does that work?
Well, you just get you a team leader,
Mhm.
somebody that wants to head it up, and then decide what activities that you want to do. Now, our unit, we have meetings during the year, come together, and everybody gives their ideas,
Mhm.
and looking for new ideas too, and then give the ones, and then we decide what project that we want to do to raise money.
Mhm.
And we didn't get to have a walk for 3 years. This year we just had a kind of a banquet for our survivors and their families, and we just fed them, and then we had a speaker to come and talk to them.
And how many survivors did you recognize?
I think we had about 70 that came. We have 145 patients right now
That you're
serving
assisting
right now.
Wow.
Right now
across the 3 counties.
Yes, 3 counties.
So the need is significant.
It's great. It is great. Yes. But yeah, just if they decide they want to start a team, we just get with the head,
whoever the team leader is.
Yes. And
so there's various teams that do various activities to raise money that just funnels up, and then there's a council or a group that reviews the applications and then disperses the funds as needed.
Right. We have a board. The Southeast Cancer
Well,
Unit
and
has a board.
I think that's the important part to drive home is that the money does stay local. It goes to the local people, and not that there's anything wrong with any other initiative, but you're trying to make a direct impact, not necessarily a research impact at this point.
Right.
And there's need for that as well.
Right.
But you shifted, obviously.
We being a nonprofit, we don't have any state or federal funds coming in. It's all strictly donors or donations and sponsors, and when we do have our walk, we do have sponsors, different levels of sponsors.
Sure.
But we just appreciate any.
So when you think,
donations.
Do you have any idea over the years how many people you've helped cumulatively? You said you're about 145 right now, but over the 26 years you said, do you have any sense of how many people you have reached out to? I know one of the reasons that the golf tournament has benefited the Southeast Cancer Unit is because we've had a number of employees who they themselves or family members have directly benefited from your services. And that's why it is something that's very close to home for our organization.
Right.
But any sense of your cumulative number?
I don't know what that total would be.
But it's probably a lot.
Yes, we have helped a lot. And, sadly, we've lost many, many patients, that we were, helping. So, but, we have, and our Brantley team has raised over $317,000 in our 18 years, and for Brantley and just only one team, it's not a lot, but it is a lot.
Well,
it's been
significant.
It's been a lot of hard work.
Yeah. Well,
so
it is work, but it's work with a cause and a heart and something. Well, and like we always like to say, in some senses, everybody knows somebody who has been impacted by cancer,
yes.
whether directly or a family member. And it's unfortunate that is the reality, but that is the reality. It does, you've got just not very many degrees of separation from it. And I think we've all have our own stories of being impacted or having a family member impacted or a friend impacted, and what we saw in terms of their strength or their struggles,
Mhm.
and the importance of being there and supporting, because it does take a lot of positive
Mhm.
encouragement and prayer
Right.
to move beyond it
Right.
and to
Mhm.
get
That's
beyond it.
right.
So, as you think back at the number of people you've assisted over the years, are there any particular stories that come to mind, or any particular testimony you've heard from people you've helped that comes to mind about how much your financial support of them in a time of need made, what kind of difference it made?
Well, I don't work directly with the patients,
Hmm.
in dispersing the
Fund.
funds and follow up and making sure that they have what they need all the time. But just hearing at our banquet that we did back in May for the survivors,
Sure.
they're just so appreciative and just brag on our ladies that work in the office how nice they are and how concerned they are and caring, you know,
Hmm.
that they are, and just a super nice group of ladies. So just people are just so appreciative, and it's a lot of them have to travel, to Savannah and other places for treatment. Um, we had a gentleman in our church that um, he I think it was 3 years ago he got cancer, and we've helped him, and he's just really, really very appreciative and keeps saying, that he didn't know what he would have done without Southeast Cancer because it was had to give his job up and all,
Oh,
because
wow.
of his, and so. But there's many that just appreciate anything we do.
Well,
So,
in other conversations I've had like these, I mean, obviously, we do a balance between, you know, cooperative operations and the electric utility as to what it's doing and operationally, and, providing power. But we then have conversations like this one that you and I are having, about how the co-op has been involved in a community initiative. But one of the things I've said to others at different times is it takes a village,
yes.
and I know
Hmm.
that's a saying that we largely attribute to, raising children.
Hmm.
But as I've said previously, I mean, in almost any initiative, cancer care takes a village.
Hmm.
Just surviving day to day in this very crazy world, and the speed of life is so fast
Hmm.
anymore,
Yes.
um, that,
Yeah.
we sometimes lose sight of the fact that we need one another, and
Hmm.
not just financially, but just to know that there's someone
So,
there to reach out to that
yes.
can be on the other end,
Hmm.
because I know that's part of it as
Yes.
well.
Yes. I know we've had several children that we've helped, and some have, survived, and we've lost some. And that's Maddie's mission, that was one of our little girls, and Amaris from Blackshear.
Mhm.
And so people really get involved, especially when children are, affected. They really get involved. And it was, we had some good donors and help, during those times. But like I say, COVID has really hurt us, and we hope to get to build back up and
Well,
get
so let's
some
talk
teams.
about how we can get some more people involved. I mean, what is your message to someone you'd like to see maybe join you in your efforts about the value in um, kind of continuing the legacy of this organization?
Well, it can be a family together,
Hmm.
and work together. It could be businesses, one of the local banks, Southeastern Bank, was
Hmm.
what helped us for a while. And it's
So it doesn't
just,
just have to be a group of people that come together. It can be tied to a
yeah,
familiar unit or a work unit.
yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had all of that, so
And then you look to kind of coordinate what each of these units within, in your case,
and
Brantley County, are planning to do,
right,
so that
and
nobody's duplicating efforts,
right,
so to speak.
right, and then we bring all of the the counties together under the head unit and say, okay, what is each county doing, and each team doing, and then
So even though COVID's made it a little harder, just to either do events or have you been fairly consistent in what you've been able to raise year over year?
With the help of Okefenokee Co-op. We've done, some of our donors and sponsors have been consistent with staying and helping, but it's a lot of the things that we were doing to raise money, raffles and stuff like that, we just kind of put on the side, because people weren't coming in, and,
Sure.
you just...
Well, I know if he could have been here today, Michael Hickox, he's been involved with the golf tournament since its beginnings, and I don't think he'd mind me saying he was also a beneficiary of the Southeast Cancer Unit at a time when it affected him personally, and he needed some assistance. So his is a direct story, and I know we have other colleagues that have had family members or they themselves. Me as someone who's newer to the area, no, I haven't directly benefited, but I can relate to the story, which I think goes back to everyone has been touched by cancer in some way, because I lost my mother to colon cancer 21 years ago this year. And you remember that, and you want to make a difference in the people that come behind. There's been so many advancements from a medical perspective. There's been so many advancements in terms of treatments and in somewhat making cancer, in some instances, more of a chronic disease that is ongoing treatment. Some it's eradicated and put in remission, and then unfortunately we know those that have one kind and subsequently years later develop another kind, and their battles are a different story. But I think it's one of those things where no matter how you might get involved, whether you make a donation, whether you choose to volunteer, which they would love to foster some more volunteer units, or participate in the fundraisers that exist. I mean, our tournament is annually. It has been since COVID. We typically had it in the spring for many years, but COVID came along. We had to delay it, and we've had it in the fall. We're going to move it back to the spring going forward. But players are welcome. You've got your onion sales. If you have an idea, reach out, visit the website, call the numbers that you shared with us earlier, and together we can all make a difference and help people survive and win the battle and move on.
Yeah.
Well,
I know that I've lost several family members to cancer. 2 brother-in-laws, a sister, 2 sisters, and a brother, and it's hard to to lose them, but when you have the assistance of something like Southeast Cancer to help with all the expenses, makes a big difference.
Absolutely. And I mean, your dedication and commitment to the Southeast Cancer Unit is well known far and wide, and from what you just shared, it's a very personal reason for being so committed. So thank you for all that you do as well. And
I'm glad that I'm able to do it. God's blessed me in so many ways, and I love to help people, and I just I wish that we could get the word out more, because so many people still don't know about Southeast Cancer. Even it's been around 26 years. And for a long time, we didn't spend money to advertise and all, but now we are starting to do that to try to, get the word out, more about that we are there for assistance. So.
Well, you heard it straight from Miss Linda. There's a lot of opportunity to get involved and continue the legacy of this 26-year-old organization, the Southeast Cancer Unit, where the money stays local, it helps local people, and it's a chance to give back and pay it forward. So, please look into it a little more. Consider supporting the causes as they come along. And Miss Linda, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here to talk about this today. And in the not too distant future, I hope we'll be giving you a significant contribution following our golf tournament.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all very much.
Well, we appreciate you. Take care, everybody.